I was like, it's enough. It's enough. I always think that's funny. You always see people do that, and you know that they like, you hired their camera to be there.
Yeah.
And they're like, not right now. And then they go, because I feel like you would just be like, yeah, or I don't, like, dude, I don't care. Like, and but it just looks good to go, not now.
You see what you did to him?
Not now.
Yeah.
Just to keep going.
You, like, from even doing the pilot of your show and just being on set, like, are you used to it, or is it still kind of?
This is a big letdown from the pilot of my show. I can tell you that. This is, it's depressing. It's like 4 cameras, whole stage, and then if the people knew what I got to look at the whole time, I saw this on like a Facebook, like where there's ads. It's not like I'm the one that figured this out. You open it like this way, and it opens up easier. I've done it ever since. Maybe 7 times. I've read 7 bananas. That's how the monkeys do it. Take advice from them. It sounds like a very funny thing to say too. Like, that's how the monkeys do it. I figured, they know better than I do. This is their whole world. I ate something last time.
You threw
We stay with one
around,
fruit.
so I started throwing away to those away.
Yeah. Ricky gets every week. Like, hey, get some vegetables in there and all that stuff. Ricky, like, I eat none of that stuff. You're like, you got to just say it, so you can feel like you're trying. I like pineapple. I don't like a lot of stuff. I have big problems with a lot of things. I think it seems weird. If it feels weird, then I won't do it. I don't like celery in my salad, and I love celery. But I don't like it in my salad, and I have a big problem with scallions. I think they sprinkle them on everything, and it's an onion, and I don't want onions, and I think it's out of control, and I think it's like a bad move by the chef. I think it's a lazy move. They throw it for decoration, but it's an onion, so I would like them all to be stopped. They were banned from America for a little bit. One of the greatest times of my life. Like 2 years. Scallions. I remember it. 2 years. I just loved life, man. You could go everywhere, and I didn't have to go. Are you going to put scallions on my stuff? They were banned from the U.S., and this is the peak of my life. Was those 2 years.
How does this compare to the first stage you and Michael took in Chicago?
Yeah, this is who I started comedy with. Me and Michael moved
Would have
to
been the Orange
Chicago,
Crush,
2000.
Right? Stage? That would have been the first stage. Where?
Yeah, Orange Crush would have been the first.
How big was
stage.
that?
Or,
the whole back area, the restaurant. Yeah. It was like a bar, and it was probably as big as this stage.
How the Second City stage? Did you ever go do him?
No,
Did you do that?
he finished Second City. I did not finish Second City. I took some classes.
Just for 1 year.
He did 1 year.
You don't have
did
to
8
audition
weeks.
for that 1 year. Oh, okay.
I get asked that a lot too, because they're always like, because I had it in my, but trying to get a step ahead, just throw Second City in there, and then everybody's like, oh, you did that? How was that? And you're like, I took like an 8-week course that everybody can take. You just sign up and anybody can say it. So, but yeah, we did. We started together, and now we're here.
Do you think you'd be on this stage right now if it wasn't for Michael?
I don't know. I mean, he was a big reason why I moved. Like, it was to have someone, because I don't know if I would have moved. I would have maybe started,
But he was a good influence to get you going.
Yeah. It was, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I would have moved to Chicago, though, because I didn't know that. I don't think I knew Second City at the time, and you're the one that knew Second City.
Yeah, I looked it up.
And then that's what got me to, and then I was like, all right.
There was nothing from Mount Juliet. What did you do in Nashville? There wasn't any really comedy, so it was like, where do we go? It was like, I heard a Second City in Chicago. Okay, let's go there.
Wish I could have met you back then.
Here we are. It's got us to Waukegan. It's like an hour north. Like, that's how we got. Like,
just get.
And if you kids, this is a lesson to learn. If you work hard enough, you can get an hour north of the city, Waukegan. Yo, what's up, Nate? You're coming to Chicago. Woo! see if we. No maps.
Yeah.
I put the maps away. John Hancock Building. I remember being here when I was 24, 23 when I first moved here. About to be 24. Walking around here. Like it was because we came from Old Hickory and Mount Juliet. It was the biggest
Where's the
city.
Weston
That
we stayed at when we came to look for
when we came to look for an apartment. Oh yeah. It was it was just so crazy how like big the city was. It was just like, this is crazy, man. Same thing I felt when I moved from here to New York. New York was like that. I remember coming out of New York and being just confused on where I was. An old joke. It's an old dumb joke that everybody did. About not knowing northeast. That's how they would tell directions. Because you'd be like, hey, how do you get here? They're like, you go north 4 blocks. I'm like, how do I know north? And they'd always be like, well, the lake's east. I'm like, I can't even see the lake. Where's the lake? Killed, man. One of the first, used to murder. One of the first ones. That's where we used to, Pippin's. We'd get off work and we'd go, that place stays open until 4 a.m. So everybody get off work and go to Pippin's. We worked here at Jake Mountains. So here, we'll go tell this story out of here. So first, when me and Michael first moved here, so this used to be, Jake Mountains used to be Black Hawk Lodge. And then they changed it over to Jake Mountains. So the guy, we were the first 2 people hired for this restaurant. The general manager, because he had us come in before we started waiting tables. And we helped like change the tables and like, I mean, we did like real work because we were just dudes from the South. So one day, we're coming down, we're leaving work down this alley. So we come out right here back there. And there's a girl right here. And a guy grabs her purse and takes off running. Just starts sprinting that way. And she yelled like, this guy took my purse, this guy took my purse. So we come out, so me and Michael, like Andy Griffith and Barney Fife, go just like, gonna go save the world. We follow this guy, and we follow him for like, I mean, a few blocks. And I don't think he realizes we're following him. We finally see a cop, we're like, hey, we saw this guy, he just stole this woman's purse. And so a few blocks away, this guy goes down this like almost like another alley kind of in between buildings, and he comes back out and these cops arrest him. And so they arrest him and they put him in the back of his car. And then I did feel that the cops were about to be like, hey, y'all watch this guy, we gotta go look for this purse. So I felt like I was trying to get away from getting asked that. So Michael ends up being closest to the police car, and the cop just goes, the dude's in the back of the police car handcuffed, and tells Michael, just goes, hey, just watch this guy for a minute. We're gonna go back here and look to find this lady's purse because he's thrown it. And so then Michael just has to stand. I mean, like the guy is just looking at Michael. Yeah. Michael's the reason he's sitting back there, and he's just staring at him.
What did you do?
Look up, look around. I looked at him one time and I saw him staring right at me, and it scared me. And the cop, as he walked off, said, if he starts kicking the window out, just yell for me. I was like, I'm running. If he starts kicking the window,
And he started kicking. Then he started kicking the window. No. And then we went back. We looked for this woman's purse. Couldn't find it. And then we just were like, all right. And then he was like, all right, we gotta let this guy go.
But he said, I'll take him.
I'll drive a few blocks over and let him. And he let him out. So that guy is still on the hunt for Michael Clay. And here he is, buddy. If you're watching this.
If you're walking the streets, I'm here. I'm back.
We were here. I worked here for the Bartman game, the Chicago Cubs, the Bartman game. I was waiting tables that night. We made a ton of money because it would just get so packed and people would go crazy. And so we were here doing that. It was an unbelievable time to be here during that whole time. And then what they did to Bartman makes me furious. I mean, they put his like address in the paper. I was hoping the Cubs would lose for the rest of their life, just to ruin a man's life. But it's all fine now. Everybody's over it, except me. What we got?
Yeah. This is where I met my wife.
Everybody go to cheer.
Cheers.
Did you? I already told the girl. I mean, I at least made it past the host stand. I almost just walked in and said, I used to work here. I did a comedy show here in this corner.
That's right. It was a stage like
Yeah, they did. It wasn't a stage. Like we moved it in that corner. We did a comedy show here. And it's all the same stuff. Like it all looks the same. I told her, I was like, I worked here. She's like, oh yeah, it's like 15 years ago. I mean, 16 years, 2003.
Probably in elementary school.
Yeah. She's like, oh yeah.
That was you.
I talk about this like this is going back to my high school. Like these people, they're like, kid, it's a job. Like I don't know. Why haven't you let go of this job? I'm like, I don't know. I'll never let go of this job. That I remember putting these tables in, these big tables. We we put the tables together. Set them up. Like they were not put together. We walked in. I waited on, what was the guy, Steve, what's his name from Police Academy? Steve Dugan
Mahoney was his,
yeah.
I think Mahoney, right?
What was his name?
Yeah. I think he was Mahoney in the movie, but I can't. Gutenberg.
Steve Gutenberg.
There was a cool spot where you didn't know who would walk in, who would come in.
Yeah.
And you met Mandy here.
He met his wife here. She worked here also. I still talk to some people that worked here. I don't let go of stuff. If I'm around you at any point in my life, I'll talk to you the rest of my life.
You're locked in. Right here. You're up there.
They would come in. They were building all this stuff. These guys worked on all the cranes, like top of these buildings, building it. So they would come in during lunch and drink beers, have beers for lunch, and then go back to a top of a building.
Like the one guy, he was a certified crane operator. He'd have a couple beers at lunchtime, and then I guess go work the crane. And then they would come back at like 4:30 or 5, whenever they got off, and stay. They would stay till closing sometimes, and then be working the next day. They would come in for lunch. I mean, I don't know how they did it.
Did the people who worked here know you guys were comedians?
Yeah.
And did they ask you guys to like tell jokes and do shows?
I did a show here. So we had me and Sven Wexler.
Yeah.
We
I
did
think
it.
I actually went up too.
We did a show, yeah. But the crane guy, he took us to a NASCAR race. No, not NASCAR, an IndyCar race. And we went with him to an IndyCar race.
When did you guys work here, like for 3 years, 2 years?
A couple months. We worked here for a couple months.
You would think we worked here half our life, the way we talk about it.
Yeah. We worked here for 2 years. But we were the first two hired. We were the first two employees outside the general manager, Willie. He hired us.
Willie
First
Neal.
two hires of this restaurant. I don't have much. I just hang on to these things. Okay.
You ever seen fights here?
We threw two people out, and I think that's when my wife fell in love with me. There were two guys. It was after a Bears game. They got beat. They were awful during this time, and these guys were hammered. They came in, and they were just being kind of loud. They ate and everything. Well, they were starting to be loud, and our manager at the time, he come out and was like, "Hey, guys, y'all got to calm down. You need to go." And the drunkest guy just starts yelling. Well, I noticed he picks up a beer bottle and he has it like this in his hand. And all of a sudden, I was like, he's going to throw it. And he did like a half, like, it wasn't like he wasn't committed to actually hitting the guy. He just wanted to, like, be bad. And so he tossed it, and the manager moved out of the way. And about that time, that's when the host grabbed one of them, and I grabbed him by his shirt, and we walked him out. And I got him to the doors. And the other guy, the host, I can't remember his name. Yeah. I can't remember his name. He was a bigger guy. Like
No.
He's the guy you would want on your side. He threw the one guy out, and I got the other guy into that little in between the two doors. He said, "You got to throw me out." I said, "You're out." Damsel in distress.
When you guys started here, did people ever say, "Can you guys just talk and let us hear your southern accents"? Or did people understand you guys?
No, they couldn't understand it.
No, but I would get. I don't know if you ever did, but a couple times people would go, "Oh, I like your accent. So you're from England?" Like they would ask me if I was from England, and I was like, "No, I'm from Tennessee." And they were like, "Oh," and I guess they were like embarrassed they were way off, and they'd walk off. But I had 2 different times where people would say, "Oh, you're from England." No.
I like to be. They're so embarrassed that they leave. They go, "We got to get out of here."
Yeah, I mean,
I'm trying to think of. I mean, I would have trouble. I say mail. Like I'm having trouble with that now. In a joke where I say mail, like mail a letter.
I don't even know.
I say mail.
I didn't know what you were saying.
Exactly. So I'd have trouble with like that.
People watching now can't understand what you guys are saying.
So I did some of those words.
Like you should know. You should understand this. You're from.
People in Chicago might not.
I remember coming home and they said, someone was like, "Are you from Chicago?" When I was home, and I lived here for, I mean, like I feel like not even a month, and I was like, "No, I'm from here," and they're like, "Oh, it sounds like you're from Chicago." I was like, "That doesn't make sense." Funny is I mean, we really like went through it. Like, I mean, that's like how someone goes through like their old house that they grew up in. They're like, "Wow," like, and they're and they're like, "I remember my mom used to read me a book here, and their mom died years ago. It's a nice, sweet thing. We waited tables 2 years ago, and we just go through it like, oh wow," telling everybody. I used to work here. This is the street we worked on. I one time saw the back of Michael Jordan's head. He drove out of this Peninsula Hotel. This is the most I've ever seen Michael Jordan. And this Tiffany company is the first ring I ever bought my wife. She was just my girlfriend. And I saved up. I bought her a ring for like $200. And Tiffany, because I thought Tiffany was like the Tiffany company. I was like, "Oh, that's like the main." I didn't know. I was like, "That's like the craziest ring place." Got her ring there. Still got the ring. Still got it. And then I went here and bought her a bunch of stuff too, so.